Namaskar. Hello and welcome, hardworking aspirants. So we are going to discuss Battle of Plassey, and that is going to be one-stop video whether you're preparing for UPSC or for state PCS or for any other competitive examinations. And by the way, do you know when was Calcutta's name changed to Alinagar and why was it done so? It is related to Battle of Plassey. And guys, we will also see the mnemonic or the trick to remember this Battle of Plassey for once and for all. It will be settled for you. And also the Mir Jafar, when we talk about traitors, Mir Jafar's name comes at the top and what is going to be his role, that is also we are going to see. But with that, a very quick info: if you have yet not subscribed to our playlist where we have brought 30 high yielding topics of history for UPSC CSE examinations and also for other competitive examinations as well. These topics will be very fruitful. At the end of the topic, we will be giving you a few questions to understand sometimes the previous year questions, sometimes the expected questions, and it will really help you boost your preparation. So all of this, but don't forget to subscribe our playlist so that you cover all the important high-yielding topics for your examination. But guys, before we go ahead, a very quick info: if you are preparing for UPSC Group 2, this is a bundle course of Science Tech plus Environment where we are completely covering the syllabus, but with that we are also giving you 14 sectional tests and 2 full length tests, and it is something which you cannot miss at this affordable rate. So don't miss the chance, don't delay your preparation, get started with it, and let's get started in detail about the Battle of Plassey. Now if you see the background, Bengal is a very important reason from the very beginning. And why is it so? You go back at the time of Magad, you go back at the time of Mahajanpada, you have this region covered there. So if you see, it was one of the richest provinces of the Mughal Empire during Shah Jahan's reign, and it included present days Bihar, Bengal, Odisha, and obviously the Bangladesh. And the capital was Dhaka, and by the 18th century, this is a fact you should remember, 60% of Asian goods imported to Britain came from Bengal alone. Now that speaks about Bengal's importance. Now there was the decline of Mughal Empire and also the political fragmentation that was going on. So after Aurangzeb's death in 1707, we will see the successors were weak and the administration was quite very poor. And because of that, what will happen? The provincial governors will declare themselves as the independent rulers. Now they became known as successor states. So one was Bengal, other was Hyderabad, and you'll see there was subsequently the weaker Mughal emperors that followed after that. Then if you talk about the European companies in Bengal, the timeline of British entry is 1651. This is Shah Shuja who granted first permission to British East India Company to trade in Bengal, and the permission was not free, rather it required payment of 3000 rupees annually to the Mughal Empire. Now, three main European trading posts along Hooghly River at that time was British East India Company in Calcutta, French East India Company in Chandanagar, and Dutch East India Company in Chinsura. Very important information that you should note down. Now, if you talk about the British dominance factor, so the geographically, if you see, they were closest to the sea routes, and all other European companies had to pass through the British territories. Then if you see the Royal Firman that was given in 1717, that is Farooq Shiar granted special trading privileges to British East India Company, and obviously the Fort William that they fortified in 1740s, which was initially a protection against the Maratha attack. Now if you talk about the Bengal's rulers, so we saw that it was at the very first under the Mughals, and now we have Murshid Quli Khan, who is known as the founder of Bengal as an autonomous state, and they shifted capital from Dhaka to Murshidabad. And also there was this initiation of Bengal's independence from Mughal control. If we talk about the succession timeline, we have Sujauddin Khan, who was son-in-law of Murshid Quli Khan. Then we have Sarfaraz Khan, who was son of Murshid Quli Khan, but he was an incompetent ruler. And then you have Ali Wardi Khan, quite famous of all the sultans. murdered Sarfaraz Khan and took power. Now he fought against Maratha attack using defensive alliances, paid tribute, that is Chauth, and ceded Odisha to Marathas. By the way, we have already done a video on this Shivaji Maharaj's Ashtapradhan Council, as well as the Chauth and Sardeshmukhi, the tax system, which you should not miss. Important topic for the examinations. Aware of European companies' danger but too old to take any military action. And then comes Siraj-ud-Daulah in the picture. Now, there was this succession crisis with Ali Wardi Khan because he had three daughters. And his son-in-laws, who were also the provincial governors, all of them died. And then comes Siraj-ud-Daulah, who was younger daughter's son. At age 21, he was selected to be the next Nawab. And there is also Shaukat Jung, who was older daughter's son, and Mir Jafar, obviously the commander-in-chief and the brother-in-law. Now, the immediate action of Siraj-ud-Daulah, if you see, in the year 1756 was what? Ordered all European companies to dismantle their fortification. No forts should be there. But Dutch and French complied immediately, but British East India Company rather strengthened their Fort William, and this was a violation of sovereign authority. It was attacked by Siraj-ud-Daulah, the Fort William, in June 1756. Remember the date, sometimes the month is also asked, with powerful force, and the British forces fled many to Fulta Island, that is 33 kilometers away. Can be asked, please remember. There comes this important black hole tragedy or black hole incident, and there is also a controversy related to it. So, when Siraj-ud-Daulah attacked, he captured British civilians, 156 of them, and they were kept in a small guard room of 18 square feet. Now, British President Robert Drake fled to Fulta Island, but it is said the next morning only 23 survivors were reported, others 123 died, and this was named as Black Hole Tragedy, the Black Hole Tragedy by the Britishers. But the historians differ here. What is the controversy? It is said that 146 people cannot physically fit in 18 square feet. Many historians consider that it was exaggerated by the Britishers to justify the revenge and the war on Siraj-ud-Daulah. Now, the British counter-attack and preparation, if you see, when Britishers will hear that Nawab of Bengal, Siraj-ud-Daulah, has taken over the Fort of William, they will send the troops. And there was the Madras presidency at that time that became active, and the reinforcement were sent in two. For the land forces by Robert Clive, and for the naval forces by Admiral Watson. And there was a two-part mission. Number one, recapture all British settlements in Bengal. Number two, remove Siraj-ud-Daulah from the throne. Now, the recapture of British settlement in 1756-57, Fort William was recaptured, reoccupied, other British factories were recovered, and Calcutta's name changed back from Ali Nagar. Now, you remember I asked you, when was Ali Nagar's the Calcutta's name changed to Ali Nagar? It was while in 1756 when Siraj-ud-Daulah takes over the Fort William. So this is this time period 1756-1757. But when Britishers will again take back, they will change the name back to Calcutta. Now, the Treaty of Alinagar 1757, what did it say? It was signed between East India Company and Siraj-ud-Daulah after recapture of Calcutta. Siraj forced to sign under external pressure. Ahmad Shah Abdali defeated Marathas at the Battle of Panipat in the year 1756. Very important, you should know all the Battle of Panipat, why and between whom, and obviously it happened in Panipat. Threat of Abdali invasion was there, and also Rohillas and Awadh Nawab potentially allied against Bengal. Now, the key provisions that were there, it was highly favorable to the British, this Treaty of Alinagar or the Treaty of Calcutta also you can say. The permission to maintain and fortify Fort William was given. Compensation for fort damage and black hole victims' families was to be given by the Nawab, and permanent British resident in Siraj Court. there was a hidden agenda there because they wanted to conspire against the Nawab of Bengal. What was the hidden agenda? William Watts, who was the British resident, he coordinated with pro-British factions. So there was Omi Chand, who was a merchant, Raj Dullab, who was official, Jagat Seth, who was an influential banker, and obviously the Mir Jafar, who was the commander-in-chief of Bengal Army. So there was this secret agreement signed in 1757. The participants were Robert Clive, Mir Jafar, and other conspirators. And there was promise East India Company would remove Siraj and install Mir Jafar as the Nawab. So there was this financial compensation to East India Company Army and Navy. There was also personal payment to Robert Clive, permission to fortify Kasim Bazaar and Dhaka factories, 24 Pargana granted to British East India Company, and also tax-free internal trade in Bengal. Now, British pretext for war was what? Robert Clive sent message accusing Siraj of violating the Treaty of Alinagar, declared it at a declaration of war, and June 1757, British army marched towards Murshidabad. Now, if you see the Battle of Plassey that was going to take on June 23, 1757. So this Plassey or Plassey is 20 miles south of Murshidabad, that is 100 miles from Calcutta. It's a forest area that is known for Plassey flower. These Plassey flowers, saffron in color, are used for holy colors. Now the soldiers, if you see, Siraj had approx 50,000, Robert Clive 3 to 4,000. See the difference, 50,000 against 3 to 4,000. The cannon, if you see, Siraj had 50, Robert Clive had 12 pieces. Allied support, there were French soldiers, 50 French soldiers and the gunners. Robert Clive had none, and the morale, it was high because Siraj had numerical advantage. Robert, he had strategic confidence. Now, if you see this, you will say that more often than not, if there is a war, out of 10 times if there is a war, 9 times Bengal will win. But actually what happens? So battle started with British artillery bombardment. Siraj noticed there is no return cannon fire from his army. So he questions Mir Jafar about this silence. Why there is no fire from our side? Mir Jafar says that the gunpowder that we are going to use, it got wet in the rain overnight. And Mir Jafar will now suggest that you go and save yourself. Here I am standing and I will see to it. Now this was a mistake by Siraj, that he left the battlefield despite he had numerical superiority, and the battle, obviously when the king is not there, the battle was won. So in a way you can say there was no war fought actually. Now what happened to Siraj? Siraj was captured while fleeing. He was assassinated by Mir Jafar's son Mira, and British victory with minimal casualties was there. EIC achieved second mission objective. Now what was the political consequences of the Battle of Plassey? So Mir Jafar became the puppet ruler. He was made Nawab as he was promised to do so, and obviously the territorial and economic gains for Britishers and also the expansion to other regions. This will happen in the Battle of Buxar in 1764, where we will see that Nawab of Bengal, Nawab of Awadh, and the Mughal Emperor will be fighting against the Britishers, but Britishers will ultimately win it. And here comes Mir Jafar. He was the puppet ruler who will not be there aligning with Britishers for a very long period, because he will also revolt against them. If we talk about the transformation of East India Company, so before Plassey, they were purely commercial organization with fortified trading posts. After Plassey, now they are imperial political power with territorial control, and this starts the 190 year of British rule, where we will see that it was because of the traitor that India had to suffer for several decades. Now the decisive advantages that Britishers had while the war was happening, they had superior military discipline, obviously the better artillery management, political intelligence network, also the conspiracy from within helped them, and the psychological advantage. Now, Siraj's disadvantage, first and foremost, was he was young and inexperienced. He should not have listened to Mir Jafar. but thought on his own. He was isolated politically, he was overconfident, he was betrayed obviously by his commander-in-chief, and poor weather preparation, that gunpowder that was damaged. The legacy and the historical significance, immediate impact of history, began British political rule in India, French influence eliminated in Bengal, and obviously the regional power structure shifted irreversibly. And the long-term consequences, obviously India became a colony of Britishers. Now, trick to remember, as I promised you, so you can use this mnemonic, which is Plassey's Sir Jam. So, Sir, S is for Siraj-ud-Daulah, was Nawab of Bengal. I is for internal betrayal by Mir Jafar, Jagat Seth, Omid Chand. R is for Robert Clive, that leads the British. J is for June 23, 1757. Remember the date, June 23, 1757. A for alliance and agreement, Treaty of Alinagar and secret pact with Mir Jafar. And M is for money and manipulation, EIC, gained territory, trade concession, and the revenue rights. So repeat this. And now let's see whether we can answer this. Who was the Nawab of Bengal defeated at the Battle of Plassey? So with Sir, remember Siraj-ud-Daulah. Sir Siraj-ud-Daulah, B is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. Which of the following played a key role in the internal conspiracy against Siraj-ud-Daulah? It was obviously Mir Jafar. Sir Jam, M. M comes there, so Mir Jafar is there. Next, who led the British forces in the Battle of Plassey? So who led it? Obviously, it was none other but Robert Clive. Again, Sir, we have R for Robert Clive. And on which date did the Battle of Plassey take place? Now, this question I am leaving with you. You tell me what is the correct answer here. And guys, with that, we have completed the Battle of Plassey. Once again, reminding you, it's a very important topic for every examination. And we have already created this playlist. So subscribe to it and go through all the important topics. It's really going to help you in your exams preparation. And remember, if you're consistent and honest in your efforts today or tomorrow, you will be successful. Namaskaram.